I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to start talking because I have filmed this podcast, episode number 1, about 20 times. I've tried to edit them 20 times. I have lost clips, and it's just been an absolute nightmare. And so I've just said, you know what? I'm just going to do old school. I just feel like people just used to just start talking. I'm just going to start talking. And I'm just going to worry about the editing like to the best of my ability. All I know how to do is trim, cut, crop. That's what you're getting. No jingles, no intros. I'm not there yet. Maybe one day, who knows? But at the end of the day, this is just a little hobby for me while I'm on my little sabbatical for 6 months. So, AKA maternity leave, because I just adopted a fur baby in March. It is August 2025. So while I'm like doing my 6 months, I'm just going to get on this mic and I'm just going to talk. I don't know how long these episodes going to be. Some might be 10 minutes. An episode might be 30 minutes. I don't know. It depends on how much I want to edit. Also depends on how much I want to talk about and like what is going on, because I just feel like I have been letting out my frustrations on things via social media. And the type of person I am, I need to talk stuff out. Whether it's to myself, whether it's to my mom, hey mom, whether it's to my friends, I don't know. I just feel like we're in a world where there's so much misinformation. I don't know what to trust. I don't know how to like even say my feelings. We just live in a crazy world, y'all. So what I want this podcast to be is just like I'm gonna cover topics that I'm generally interested in, and that can be from politics, because these days everything's pissing me off. To be honest, everything, everybody, every political side, I can't stand it. Do I want to talk about sports? That's my latest thing. I've been really into watching sports in the last I would say couple years. I think there's some sports I just like watch throughout the years, but I would say actively, definitely within the last year. So I want to learn more and deep dive into fun topics that I like, such as crime. Love documentaries. I want to review documentaries like Amy Bradley. I was also last night watching Missing in Delphi on Hulu. So good. So good. So I'll be doing more of that and just general topics that I'm interested in, learning about world events and world like hot topics, fun. All right. So anyways, I am back on my political bullshit today. I'm not happy. I'm just not happy with the state of this world. I feel like I woke up from a fever dream from 5 years ago, and I'm seeing that all the politicians are corrupt. I will say I have always voted Democrat. I voted because I felt like it was the right way to do, right thing to do, excuse me. The issues I'm very passionate about. But then I've come to realize that I may be passionate about more progressive ideas and values, but I'm not passionate about the person or the people that they've put in power to relay that information. That's what I'm starting to realize. I think I'm just kind of over this whole, I'm a Democrat, I'm going to vote Democrat, I'm going to vote because they're the most left-leaning right now. They're not. Not if you're funding sales to Israel still. You're not. You're pro-genocide. This is crazy. So I've officially gone independent. And so I will be really every single election cycle. Do you hear me out there? Every single election cycle, I am going to do my due diligence. I am going to read everything because there's so many people that I have trusted in power. They have so many people that I thought were the right person, the right people to do the job. They're not. And listen, I understand that we can't get every issue on the ballot. I understand that I will not find one candidate that I agree with 100%. But there are some things that you can't compromise, and that's the death of innocent children. And that's the cover up of the Epstein files, pedophilia. It's crazy. Am I taking crazy pills? Like, are we all okay? Are we okay? I don't think we're okay. I think we all need therapy. Every single person in this country needs a blunt and therapy, because what is happening? What is happening? I have no faith in humanity. Everyone's playing us. Everyone of power is playing us. It's just that the wealth divide is insane. The power divide is insane. The political spectrum is insane. I mean, when you think Republican these days, you look at MAGA. Isn't that crazy? MAGA is not a Republican. You know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy. When you think of the Democratic Party, you probably think Nancy Pelosi. I don't like her. I don't like Nancy Pelosi. Her and Chuck Schumer got some problems. I want to look into the finances of everybody. That's another topic for another day. We do need to talk about insider trading. We do need to talk about Congress and their finances, because this is wild. So just sit back and relax, because this podcast right here, we're going in. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. And I'm not just talking about the US. I'm tired globally. The UK, we got some problems over there. I'm tired globally. As a global citizen, I'm over it. I'm just over how there's always the biggest group of people, the most marginalized people at the bottom are always getting shit for it. I don't get it. Because like here in California, shit is getting crazy. Shit is getting crazy in California. I mean, we got Gavin Newsom fighting fire with Texas and President Trump because he has to. My governor, Governor Newsom, who I have a love-hate relationship with, and that's a whole nother, I'll do a deep dive into Gavin Newsom later, and I hope one day he will come on the podcast because I have so many questions, but I believe what he is doing right now, fighting fire with Trump, is absolutely the way we should go. Listen, Michelle Obama, I love you. I love, 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 love you, and I actually saw the other day that you said that we can go low a little bit, but you said it with class. I'm starting to think we need to go low. And stay low for a while. But what Gavin Newsom's doing, shout out to his whole team on social media, his social media teams, social media managers, copywriters, never get enough credit. Someone who is in that field on the community and social media side, like never get any credit. We always get shit on. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to everybody. That is going to be the Gen Z and the younger folks that are putting this together, and to the older staff members, don't take credit for this shit. Give it to them. You guys are killing it. You're literally talking like Trump and speaking to his base in a dumbed down way that only like they know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's infuriating to me to see Gavin Newsom tweeting like Trump, saying he's the let's you know what? Hold on a second. Pause. The other day they said Donald Trump is finished. He is no longer hot. First the hands, so tiny, and now me, Gavin C. Newsom, have taken away his step. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love it. I like hate reading it because it like triggers me, because it reminds me of Trump, because this is literally how he speaks and how he tweets and how he talks and all this stuff, and probably how I talk, to be fair. I can't speak English sometimes. But it's needed. This is exactly what is needed. I don't care if people have a hard time reading it. I do. It's triggering not because Gavin Newsom's going low. It's triggering because it reminds you of the president. Remember that. Remember that. The thing about Gavin Newsom that I will always give to him is he is not afraid to get messy. He's not afraid to be petty. And that's why I think we can still vote for him. Because like someone has to. The establishment Democrats aren't. They're too quiet. AOC, love her to death, and she's very vocal. But unfortunately, in a country like America, you need to hear it from a white man. They need to hear it from a white man. And Gavin Newsom knows that. Gavin Newsom knows that. So real quick, though, because y'all know what's happening in Texas, whatever. You know, the government out there, you know, remapping the whole state, you know, to overly vote in favor for Republicans. Just to, like, let's be honest, just to keep the chokehold on the Texas people. And, you know, I get it. A lot of people are voting. A lot of people in Texas are probably in favor for it. It is a very Republican state. They're probably like, oh, we need to keep power. But come on. Even you guys know you deserve to vote on it. Wake the fuck up. Gavin Newsom is holding a special election in November 4th, I believe. And he is giving us, the people of California, myself, the right to choose if we want to remap or not. He could have just done what Greg Abbott did and just went in there and just said, we're going to do it. It's up to me. I'm going to do it. No, he's holding a vote. Now, if we vote for it, it's going to be super interesting to see how it goes forward. Right? It's going to change. It's going to change the House, the United States House. I believe they said we're going to have like 52 seats, and they will all be Democratic from California alone. But that's the thing. Everyone's accusing Gavin Newsom in California for being frauds, but we could have done this ages ago. But every 10 years, we do the independent council. Why? It's the right thing to do. It's a democracy. If we vote and everyone overwhelmingly votes against mapping, it's a democracy. But guess what? Texas is still going to do it. Texas is still going to do it. He's sending out arrest warrants for Texas Democrats who are doing the right of freedom of speech, who are protecting the people that voted them into office. Because Greg Abbott isn't. No, he's not giving everybody the right to vote, the right for their voice to be heard. No. He wants control. This is the Republican narrative. It's freaking insane, people. We are being gaslit. We are literally being gaslit. I'm so angry I slammed my laptop. Are we living in a real world right now? Is this really happening? Is the current 2025 Trump administration focused on a $200 million ballroom from private funding? Yeah, but what do you get on the back end of that shit? But use that private funding to pay for healthcare. Use that private funding to deal with the homeless crisis. Don't send the National Guard in to clean them up, as they said, and put them where? No one's told us where they're going. Crazy. I hope by the time the podcast is out, they tell us where they are. That deep sigh was real because it's tiring. I think we're all tired, but I do think we need to speak up more and tell people, because there's people within my circles that I've known from high school, or definitely one from when I was younger, that still believe in the MAGA mission. It's like, what? After what? What is he doing? Grocery prices are up. Inflation's up. Crime in DC is down, though, before the National Guard came in. It makes no damn sense. I think I'm taking the pills. This is not real life. All right, switching gears here. I'm just going to say it straight. I think some dog parents should be absolutely arrested and go to doggy jail. And I mean that very seriously. There are trash dog parents out there, and I'm getting tired of it. Listen, I understand I'm a new dog mom, so my credibility is at a 5% right now. But as a new dog mom who is training a 1-year-old who has epilepsy and is a terrier mix, so there is a little bit of aggressive, sassy trait, and you see me pulling her in closer as you walk by with your dog, but you're just letting your dog go free on the leash, not taking in respect of the other person in front of you. I always do that. Out of respect for other dogs, I purposely wind Minnie back in a little bit more, keep her close, tell her to wait. I just try to do things because we're training, we're learning. She can be a little moody sometimes. She is her mother's daughter. But I know this. Like, if I see someone else doing the same thing, which I do on a daily basis, I automatically know, okay, if I see another dog mom whine it, whatever, bring their dog closer to their hip, I automatically get Minnie as close to me as possible. And I don't know, because I don't know how they're going to react, but I also don't know how Minnie's going to react. Your dog can be well trained and it can still be an asshole. Okay, Minnie is the most amazing, and I hate saying the word dog, by the way, because Minnie isn't a dog. She's not a dog, you know this, but I'm saying this for all the dog moms. But I think it's just like, Minnie is the most sweetest, kindest, amazing girl, but she's sassy. And I know she would never bite anybody or harm anybody, but she'll bark at you if she feels threatened, or if she just feels a little off, or if she needs a little bit of space. My girl has been taught boundaries, just like you should teach your dog. This just happened to me a few hours this morning where I was walking Minnie. It was going fine. She found the squirrels. It's over. Hyper girl is out. The meds have dissolved. And I'm trying to just get her little butt center. And I'm like, okay, I play along with the little squirrels because there's no one around. And then when I see another dog coming, it was a golden retriever and another dog. There was a second dog, smaller one though. I'm like, okay, Minnie, time to stop messing around. Let's focus here. Okay. So I grab her. I move her to the side. She's in between my legs. Listen, it's all good. She's not going to bark. She's heavy heaving because she's feeling a bit intimidated, but whatever. Let her sulk. This guy sees me. You can visibly see me purposely move to the side. This guy's dogs, they're on the automatic, retractable leashes. He's not thinking about pulling them closer. He's letting them go wild to the point they're coming up to Minnie and Minnie's getting agitated. I said, we're training. Can you please push back or pull them back a little bit? He goes, what? I said, they're training. He goes, oh, you're training? Oh, no, they're nice. My dogs are nice. I'm like, it's not your dog. I'm saying my dog's training. And then, of course, Minnie starts freaking barking. And then he gets like, whoa, whoa. And I was about to be like, man, these days I want to be a Karen so bad. But I was about to turn around and cuss him out. But then, I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my peace. I cannot cuss this man out. I walked away. But I see this guy now. Every time I see this guy, I'm just going to have to pull Minnie to the other side. I feel like I have to move, which sucks. I was there first, but whatever. I feel like Hunter Biden's in the news a lot recently, ever since he did that Channel 5 interview with Andrew Callahan, and he just unleashed on everything. He was not holding back. He was like, I'm coming for the Democrats, I'm coming for the Republicans, the establishment, and I was kind of here for it. I think it made me think about what is it like to be the children or the child of a president. Like, I couldn't imagine that. Like, over age, I believe it's different. Like, obviously, Hunter Biden had a lot of problems. Like, he went through a lot of stuff. And actually, that interview on Channel 5, he goes into great detail of what that emotional, physical state was like dealing with drugs and how it took a toll on him in great detail. And I was fascinated. I think everyone should definitely go check out that podcast. But what was interesting is there's a lot of controversy around what he said about Melania Trump. He said he'd read that Epstein was the one that introduced Donald Trump and Melania. That's what Hunter Biden is allegedly saying. And of course, I mean, like, he was like citing news articles back in like 2019 by author Michael Wolff, who has been apparently saying this, allegedly. And Melania basically came up and threatened to a $1 billion lawsuit against Hunter Biden for saying this is all a lie, but Hunter Biden was just kind of like, fuck that. I'm going to keep saying it. So this will be something that I'm going to be paying attention to, because this is the sort of thing that, like, when you want to see a reality show, Hunter Biden versus Melania Trump is probably one I would love to see, because Melania Trump is very interesting to me. I want to know what she truly thinks about stuff, because she's an immigrant woman who knows like multiple different languages, was extremely cultured even before getting with Donald Trump. Yeah, she was a model, but so what? She's smart. Like, she's a smart woman, educated. And then you end up with, you see this all the time, right? I mean, J.D. Vance's wife apparently used to be like this hotshot Democrat or something. And you see this all the time, though, when you meet like, money, fame, power, and it typically are like older Republican men, you go for it. And so I want to know what she thinks, though. Like, we can all say about immigration, there's a problem. I think we can all safely say America has a problem with immigration, and there needs to be a safe and legal way of handling immigration. And as an immigrant herself, I'd be very curious to what she thinks. But just kind of going back to like the first kids of like a president, that's a lot of pressure. And I was like, okay, I know I said it's different for older and minor kids of like presidents, and I still stand by that, because I just think there's a whole different like emotional intelligence, a whole different experience when you're like a Malia and Sasha Obama versus like a Hunter Biden in the White House. Absolutely. It doesn't mean there's still this amount of pressure, right? And that's why it's like I won't really talk about, presidents' kids from Trump to whoever, because I just think, unless they're like out in the media, like the Bushes, I think a couple of them, I can't remember her name, but she's on the Today Show. I wonder if she's still on that Today Show or something. Unless they do something publicly that I feel like is out of line with my morals, then I'll say something. But Hunter Biden, and he's an example of this, right? Because he's outspoken and he's done all this stuff, but I still have a lot of compassion. I feel like there's so much pressure in society that, as even someone who's not famous and just an ordinary person living every day to day, I feel like there's a lot of pressure. I couldn't imagine being under the eyes of a million people and having to deal with a ton of scrutiny. Of course, I feel like turning to a drug or turning to something that's, of substance, an addiction, is kind of bound to happen. because I don't think people are really protected, especially young kids. But I think it kind of, thinking about Hunter is like, yeah, he's older now, actually, now that I'm talking out, but he was young once. And if his dad has always been in politics, he grew up under the microscope. It's a lot. And maybe he was more buttoned up back then, or there wasn't as much social media. And so we weren't able to, get his crazy from back in the day. And obviously he's a big focus now because his dad was the former president, Joe Biden. But listen, I'm not defending a lot of the bad things that Hunter Biden did, but I'm just trying to look at it at a different perspective. Like, that's how I think about anybody really not, but that's how I kind of think about Barron Trump, right? Like, he's a kid. He's a kid. Let him live. He's not in college. Just let him live. He's not his father. You know what I mean? He's not his mother. And if he is, we don't know that yet. And let him find his own path. I think the older Trumps are fair game. Definitely fair game. They're always in the media. But I think the younger ones, yeah, it's hard. But, I'm probably going to be a hypocrite, but whatever. I was thinking, how privileged would I like to be in life? Like, if I could label it to something or compare it to someone, what would it be? I was really thinking about this, and I was like, when the homegirls went into space for 20 seconds. Katy Perry, Gayle King, what's the other ones? Jeff Bezos, homegirl. I would love to stare the American people in the face and be like, I'm going to space for women. I'm going to space for 20 minutes to show that women, we really can do this. Shut up. Stop it. Girl, the economies, we're dying. People are broke. We don't have health care. There's no Medicare coming soon in the coming years. It's a hot ass mess. Going to space for 20 seconds isn't going to cure world hunger, isn't going to cure the liberation of women in a workplace. I can't with the bullshit. This was something I was just thinking about the other day. I was like, what a waste of space. This is really what rich people do. They just get in rockets for 20 minutes. I know I was saying 20 seconds. It's just crazy. Like, what? Like, it's just, you spend all this money for what? To go into air? Gail didn't want to go. I know Oprah talked Gail into it. Oprah must have talked Gail into it. Because, listen, Gail didn't want to go. We saw her face. Gail, why did you go? I like Gail, though. I really like Gayle King. And I really like Gayle King because I like Gayle King from the R. Kelly interview because I just think when we all saw that, we were like, yeah, Gail knows how to interview. But why'd you go on this rocket ship? Why? It's crazy. This is insane. What world are we living in that people are thinking that going to space wearing designer stuff? Were they wearing designer things before I say that? Whatever. Allegedly wearing designer things. Makeup. I don't know. Well, I guess you can wear makeup to space. I probably would put a little mascara on. I need it. But like jewelry. Did they bring jewelry? It's just what? Every time I see that article, every time I see that headline, it's in disbelief that this really happened. Homegirls went to space. And there we have it. That's a wrap on my first episode. I will be getting better. I know, like, I'll be better at, like, segment changes, talking in general, getting my facts, preparing. But I'm just happy to get this one done and post it. And it is what it is. Have fun. Why am I telling you to have fun? Okay, bye. Thanks for listening to the A-Files. Bye.